Good morning, good morning. It is 5:23 in the morning, and today's travel day looks a little bit different. Brandon and I are driving separately. Brandon's got the truck trailer and for kids, and I have got just a car full of stuff. We do have two vehicles that we travel. This particular occasion requires us to do that because we are headed to Idaho today, and then we're coming back through, and then 4 days later we're actually doing something a little bit different. No trailer involved. Jumping on a plane and heading to Florida. Maybe. Hurricane Milton just made landfall yesterday, and so we're kind of just watching to see what's going on there. We obviously don't want to go into an area that's dealing with a catastrophe right now. I mean, they don't need to deal with tourists while they're cleaning up and dealing with all of that. So anyways, so rather than going all the way back to our long-term spot, we're going to be staying at his parents' property for 4 days, and then we're actually just going to leave it there while we're in Florida so that they can kind of check in on the cat and the dog can hang out with Grandpa because she just loves Grandpa. So that is what we're doing today, and here we go. Okay, so it's after work for the day. We finished up, and now we are back together in the same vehicle on our way to Idaho. Something I wanted to kind of touch on is how awesome Starlink is. And I know there's a lot of good internet providers out there that tailor to people who are on the road. We've found Starlink to be fantastic. Currently, I had a couple things that I still needed to finish up that I wasn't able to in the office, but we're in the truck and I'm fully connected and I'm able to work while we are on our way to our very first harvest host of this trip, which is called the Boathouse in Burle, Idaho. So we will check back in with you when we get there, show you around. Hopefully it's not too dark. We did leave a little bit later than we had anticipated, but you know, you can't always help that. So see you in Burle.
First harvest host, it's just a dirt parking lot, but here along the side of I guess it's a lake, but it's more of like a river that kind of flows into a lake, I think. But just taking the doggo for a walk before we eat breakfast and be on our way soon.
Good morning from Burle, Idaho.
Oh yeah, it's a happening town.
Totally. We will show you what our wake-up call was like here in a little clip. And so we woke up to all these sirens. These tractors, you can't see them. We're getting escorted. I don't know what's in them, but anyways, just kind of funny. What is that? But we were surprised, very surprised, you'll see. Also, we didn't realize what an industrial town Burle is. There's quite a few food plants right next door to where we were. I think it's McCain Food Processing, and right now they're processing potatoes.
We think it smells like potatoes anyway.
Brandon thought cornmeal, but then when you drive past, it was definitely potatoes, I thought. Like boiled potatoes on Thanksgiving Day. We are on our way to Twin Falls, Idaho. We're gonna go through Twin Falls. Hopefully we can just kind of pull off to see some of the falls somewhere, do a little bit of walking around, and then go to our next harvest host.
On a side note, Burle right now, I think, is spreading cow manure. So the whole town smells amazing.
Yeah, We're not really sure what the smell is, but it is literally everywhere. And obviously we're in farm country, so we knew
I'm
that,
pretty sure it's cow manure.
yeah, maybe. But if you live in Burle and you see this video, let us know what you guys are doing right now.
And if it's a year-round thing, or if it's just like this is the time of winter when they spread the fertilizer.
I don't think that will stop us from coming back here, because so far I've been pretty impressed. Last night's dinner was also amazing at the boathouse. If you're coming through, you got to try that.
It's right on the lake/river.
The Snake River?
I think so.
Yeah. So we'll show pictures of that. That was really good. A little bit pricey, you know, but you kind of have to pick your battles. Something that I saw on YouTube from another YouTube couple, they said we have to try and live this life while remembering that we're not always on vacation. So we're still trying to figure that part out.
So it's bologna sandwiches for the rest of the trip.
No, actually for him, he really likes Spam, so maybe it's Spam sandwiches. Anyways, off to the next Harvest Toast. We will check in when we get there.
We're at Shoshone Falls at Idaho Falls up in Idaho. It's pretty awesome.
Just look at that. Literally, I do not think that the camera can do this justice at all. Look how beautiful this is. I want to zoom in because it's like what I would consider in the ocean areas to be tide pools, but they're obviously not. But look at that. All right, we're gonna take you down a little bit closer and get a better look. Okay, so we are a little bit closer. We were waiting for the crowds to kind of disperse over here, but from this vantage point, look at how that's braced up. Honestly, I mean, it's got to be strong, but that's a little sketchy. Oh, I don't know if I can get this close. It's a
Why not?
That's a little high for Carrie. Just for everybody out there, Carrie is definitely afraid of heights.
Look, there's a shark.
A what? So you may not be able to hear me very good, so I'm going to try really hard to explain what just happened. Our GPS failed us and told us to turn right, and we ended up on an irrigation canal road, and it says absolutely no trespassing, and it was like a super tight right-hand turn that Brandon thought, he's like, if I turn anymore, I'm gonna jackknife. So anyways, we got off the road, and there's no way to back up to try and like re-enter the road to turn around. So we got out, walked the road all the way back and around there, and luckily it connects down into like some rodeo fairgrounds kind of. So we're gonna be able to backtrack and get back on the road, but that was a moment of frustration, and don't always follow the GPS. Okay, so this is the road. We were really worried when we were walking up that it wouldn't tie in, but we looked on Google Maps Earth to look down, so we're gonna have to pull up and around this edge, pull all the way forward as much as we can, and then Brandon's going to have to back that way. In fact, I might get out and spot him.
Thank you.
Okay. Now that we have our coffee in hand, we can do a little recap of last night.
Yes.
So our mics died.
Yeah, we were super bummed because they had a little live band that's the daughter
Of the owners, a daughter-in-law.
the daughter-in-law, yeah, of the owners of the wine, or the vineyard and the cellars. But yeah, she was singing with her dad, I believe. And it's super good little, just a 2-person band, and yeah, they were awesome. But we didn't, yeah, we have footage, but we don't have any sound.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer. But so we'll post some little videos, snippets of them and kind of the vibe of the place. But yeah, the wine was very good, very, very good. When they have live shows and live bands, it's only, you have to buy it by the glass or by the bottle. They don't do tastings.
Yep. Which I thought was going to be an issue for us, but I mean, the pricing was okay, and so
It was good.
We had a really good time.
The charcuterie board was massive.
Oh
It was very big.
It was really good. Like normally you get like a tiny, like the IKEA kid plate. I feel like when you do things like that, but it was a full board.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But yeah, it was really cool. We met a cute couple and their kids. They were super awesome. It's funny because the first thing they said when we walked up into the area, they waved him over.
They caught me and were like, "Hey, were you the guy on the side of the road on that little dirt trail?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that was me. It was a bad day." So anyway, that got the story started, and we sat with them and talked for the whole night. So.
Yep. I think this was actually our very first experience, I think, talking to folks about this lifestyle that we're living.
Yeah.
And honestly, people are very intrigued and very interested to hear like how and why. And
some people don't. They have a hard time understanding the small, because we're in a very small trailer, but we don't have kids. We don't have that. So with kids, you definitely need something bigger, I think, at least with bunk beds, and make life a little easier. But
yeah, for sure. So anyways, we are still at the current Harvest House Winery, and I think we're gonna sneak up today. They kind of put out a general invitation.
Yeah. We'll at least go see and watch. But they're doing, I don't know what they call it. Not
harvesting.
No, it's not harvesting.
Oh.
They're like mashing. I think they're breaking down the grapes into the juices. Yeah.
Interesting. Anyways, so 10 o'clock today, we're gonna go up there
and at least see what they're
We
doing.
might help, depending on, we got to see where our next place is that we're going to be headed to, how far away, but I don't think it's very far. So they're saying this is going to be soon. They didn't say when. Soon it's going to be their very own grapes that they're going to be harvesting and making the wine with, which I think is really cool.
Because it takes quite a few years for the vines to mature enough to be able to use those grapes.
Yeah. Anyways, so it's just kind of a cool story. I love hearing how wineries get started because really, I mean, it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
They just traded one farming for another, but really cool story, really cool place, and 100% would come back.
Yep, highly recommend. Okay, good morning. We kind of did a little video in the trailer, but seeing as we didn't have audio last night, I'll kind of show you where you park here at this Harvest Host. Big rigs are gonna be a little bit tricky getting in, unless you can get here early enough and get the very first spot. But you kind of have to come up, park on a little hill, but they have some smooth gravel parking lots, so they're pretty level.
Okay, so something last night that we got, but anyways, when our mics died, we were talking to Trey, the owner of Deaddeer Cellars, and today they are going to be taking their harvested grapes right here, and they're going to be processing them to go into the bins and get ready for fermentation.
As you can see, they are loading grapes into the hopper.
We are at Fichi Winery in Caldwell. Made our way here. This was kind of the reason for the whole trip. This is the place that I really wanted to go, and so we found ways to stop on the way. But I just have to show this. Something that I really appreciate when you have the charcuterie boards is when you have black olives, and you also have
Oh no, purple.
purple, the salty ones. I'm not a big fan of the salty ones, but I love regular olives. So, plus also, their wines are incredible. We're trying their estate Ramito. I probably butchered that, but it is very good. So
It's a
if you
white.
come to Fichi, definitely give it a try. I've never seen turkeys in a peach farm. Oh, then they fly.
Oh yeah. So we're here at Peaceful Belly. They do ciders, and we already finished our flight. But here is our dinner. What'd you get, Carrie?
You know,
Please
I'm
explain.
not sure. Something chorizo, polenta, and an egg.
Oh.
But they are farm to table, which is really cool. A beautiful garden around us, lots of roses and stuff. We're gonna go walk through. There's a community garden, which I think that is so interesting. We're gonna go ahead and walk through that when we're done eating. But I'm really excited. Let's dig in.
Mine is a tomato soup. I think it's like all homemade or something. I don't know. And then a sourdough grilled cheese. Oh. Yep. I'm gonna eat. I feel like a hobbit.
I'm not sure if we're allowed back here, but we're just gonna stay on the trail because this looks amazing.
Oh man, it smells good. Like, I'm guessing this is dill.
This
I
is
think
probably what we just ate.
No, that's dill.
Well, but I mean the ingredients. They said farm to table. Is it this farm or another farm?
I don't know, but it smells really good.
I have never seen a squash plant with purple flowers.
Neither
before.
have I. I don't know what it is.
What is it?
I have no idea.
Maybe we'll stop here and turn back around.
Yep, so you got
A worm compost bed. This is super interesting.
feel free to peek under the burlap. Well, let's peek under the burlap. So lots of flies. Oh my goodness, there. Fruit flies like crazy.
You got some
I don't see any worms.
They're probably inside the dirt.
Well, there you got a first view of some.
Look how pretty those flowers are. Oh my gosh. Who knew that vegetables could be so pretty? Eggplant.
Sure oh, there's a little baby eggplant.
Obviously, we're
not gardeners.
Yeah.
I'm guessing these are tomatillos.
I wouldn't say we are city folk, but coming to Idaho.
And I think these are okra.
Anyways, that stuff is still growing right now. Like there's still flowers for pollination.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I have no idea what this is. It looks pretty cool though. Looks like a tomato plant, but it's not.
Honestly, really, could you imagine just being like, I'm gonna make something for dinner, walking out to your garden and just like...
Yeah, no joke. You could cook anything out here.
This is great. Hi, kitty.
And there's the local kitty. I can't remember its name.
Chester Linguini.
There you go.
Chester.
Chester.
Chester. Hi.
Hey, buddy. Come here.
Oh my gosh.
Chester. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
We are definitely cat people because at the other winery we were at, their cat came and sat on my lap for the longest time.
How they do these squashes on an arch.
Oh, look at that long one.
Or are they gourds?
That's cucumber.
What's a gourd?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Is that cucumber?
I don't know what that is. Kind of looks like it.
They need to put a security camera on this cat. That's awesome. I have never, honestly, I've seen more vegetables in here than I've seen in my own grocery store.
Yeah, who needs a grocery store?
And I keep hearing apparently sheep, but
there's
I
sheep.
haven't seen any.
I mean, there's stuff over there that you could walk through, but looks like wildflowers and...
Okay, we are on our way to our very last stop in Idaho, which is Glenn's Ferry. We are passing through somewhere.
Pretty sure it's Boise.
Pretty close to, well, it looks
But
like
it's the
we're going
airport.
towards Meridian, but by the airport. Anyways, it smells like peanut butter.
Yep, peanut butter.
Yeah, Idaho, you are just full of all sorts of smells. But the peanut butter, we want to know, is there a peanut butter plant somewhere in Idaho?
This is the second time we've smelt it.
Yeah.
It smells just like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah, it's making my mouth water, to be completely honest. So we might have to stop at Maverick to get one. So anyways, if you're from Idaho and there is a peanut butter plant, let us know. We are currently being passed by every single semi on the highway. And Brandon's going to explain why.
Well, on one of our trailer pages we follow, Don is his name, he posted something about getting the best gas mileage out of your vehicle while you tow. So normally I'm setting my cruise around 72 to 75, passing 80, 85, it just depends. And so I thought I'd give this a shot, trying to get a little bit better gas mileage. So I'm setting my cruise at 64, puts my truck just under 1500 RPMs, which is right in its torque range. And we'll see what happens. It really sucks though to let all these people pass me.
Okay, so we did something completely out of our comfort zone. We don't have to be back into Utah until really Tuesday morning, but we saw this sign for some sand dunes for like a state park in Idaho, Bondu. I don't know how to say it. Anyways, so we just decided to pull off, come through, and there's like a campground and a big sand dune that's supposedly the largest somewhere that you can rent the sand skis or whatever to ride it down. So we decided to pull in, and so we may have just pulled a no reservation first time stay somewhere So we're gonna kind of check this place out, see if it's somewhere we want to stay or continue on to our next destination. Oh, I was totally off. Bruno Dunes State Park? Anyways, it doesn't look like there's any sand dunes, but supposedly over those hills, they're gonna be there.
Carrie talked me into going over here and trying to climb this sand dune. I'll probably die, but I'm gonna give it my all.
In sandals.
Well, in sandals, but that's sandals.
I mean,
those go hand in hand.
Yeah, but this is a dune. It's not like a beach.
It's still sand. But anyway, we'll film kind of as we go, and you can check it out.
Okay, so we're gonna turn the camera around though and show you. You can rent these boards. It's $15 for one or $25 for two. Due back at the check-in center by 4 p.m. But you can rent the sand boards and climb up and kind of slide down. We didn't do that this time. There was only a couple left, so we thought we would just leave them for people with kids and stuff. So we'll show you kind of what everybody's doing.
And I didn't want sand in my ass crack, so.
Or that. Okay. So back there I read that these, why they're black, it's because there's a lot of iron. And we were like, we wish we had a magnet. Our microphones are magnetized. So I'm going to take the back and see what I can get. I'm not feeling any pull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right there you can kind of see the black around the edges here. Cool.
It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
So with our little detour, we have come across something very interesting. Not only do we need fuel soon, and we're only 10 miles away, so we might be okay. But we got caught behind, what would you call it, a cow roundup?
Yeah, cattle drive.
Cattle drive! And there's a train, so look at this.
Pushing them right down the main road. Come get some hay.
I feel like I'm entering a resort. This is Why Not Winery in Glenns Ferry, Idaho. And I'm really excited to stay here. This is going to be really nice.
Too bad I don't like to golf. Gigi, bring it here. Bring it here.
We are in our final stretch of the trip. Just finished up in Glenns Ferry, Idaho, and now we're headed back to Utah. Like I explained earlier, we're going to be parking at his parents' property before our next trip out to Florida. This morning, if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen that 2 weeks ago when we pulled up to a spot, I had forgotten to move the TV out of the way before I opened the slide, and got the TV stuck in between the slide and the wall of the trailer. And at first we didn't think that there were any issues. It was fine. And then we went out to inspect the slide after it had been closed and noticed that one side didn't seal like the other side. So We called Elite RV, the people who installed our system, the broom slide system for us, which we also have a video about that. And they were gracious enough to let us come their way, and they're gonna just take a look at it, make sure I didn't ruin it. So, anyways, we are about 4 hours away from there, but hopefully it's okay. I don't know.
Luckily, and on a side note today, while we were on the phone, we were kind of in a rush to get, hooked up and out of there because we got a 5-hour drive ahead of us. Atlas somehow snuck out of the trailer, and so we had to go hunt down him through the bushes.
Yep.
So that was a scary situation.
This is how he apologizes. Sorry. No, he really didn't care. Luckily, he's very food motivated.
Yep.
We just were out shaking the Friskies can, and he comes running back. So.
And he's a big cat, so he can't really disappear very easily.
Yes, that's very true. All I could see was the tip of his tail. He's got a white tip. I can't grab it right now. Anyways, it's just white on his very tip, and that's all I saw. And I'm like, there he is! But we thought we were going to be coming home with one pet instead of two, which...
Yep.
That would have been terrible.
We wouldn't have. We would have stayed and found him, but
true.
Still. Scary.
Anyways, so, off to Elite RV and Repair in Woods Cross to get our slide checked out. We decided to stop at a Love Station on the way back. This one looks pretty new. It also has the cool RV park area, and they also have they have a small dog park and a big dog park, but we decided to dump now to save on some fuel. It was $10, which is a little bit pricier than what we typically spend by $5. Anyways, so we are gonna dump before we keep on our journey. And although what made up for the $10, they already had a hose, so I didn't have to get ours out of the bag, which was super nice. We are just pulling up to Elite RV and Repair in Woods Cross, Utah to get our slide checked out. We're gonna find out if I did indeed break it or not. Let's hope not, and that they can do a quick fix, but otherwise keep your fingers crossed for us.
After checking in with Elite RV, we had the tech come check out our trailer, make sure the slide was okay. He put a tape measure on it and measured from the exterior wall to the outside of the slide on both sides, and it was exactly the same. So he's like, it's as close as it's ever gonna be. So Carrie destroying the TV did nothing to the slide. We made it to my parents' house. We are mooch docking in the backyard. Carrie made a funny little short. She started this little series called
Tips and tricks from one RVer to another. I just like to do little small things that people who are just starting out, or even if you've already been in it for a while,
just little fun little funny little videos.
Yeah, just things that we would do that might help other people. That's kind of a quick DIY or something like that.
So we're just gonna hang out here for a couple days, pack for Florida, and get on a plane. Like and subscribe if you want to follow us.